Hey everyone, it's Molly. Today is Halloween and I thought we would do something special, not specifically for Halloween, but for my twins' baby shower. It's this weekend. So I'm making her a pumpkin cake. I will put the recipe for you guys down below in the video's description box so you'll have that. And today we're just going to make the cake. I'm going to freeze it, and then later on this week we'll make the frosting out of this same book, and then we'll combine it and we'll decorate it, and then we will see how it tastes. So stick around. Okay, so this part's pretty easy. I'm just going to sift together the cake flour, the baking soda, baking powder, and the spices. The recipe called for cinnamon, allspice, and I believe clove, and I didn't have allspice or clove on hand, so I'm using the equivalent of pumpkin pie spice. I figured it should just be, it's pretty much going to taste the same, I think. Nice and spicy. So that's a half teaspoon measurement I have in my hand, and I'm just doing 4 of those to equal about 2 teaspoons, which might be a little bit more than what the recipe calls for, but I like it spicy. So let me speed this up for you, and then once we get this sifted together, we'll set it aside. Okay, so I'm going to cream together the shortening. Yes, this recipe uses shortening and doesn't use butter. So we're going to cream together the shortening, and then we're going to gradually add the sugar and beat it until it's light and fluffy. You could do this with a handheld mixer, or you could do this by hand if you wanted, but I love using my mixer, and it's Halloween orange, so I figured it's appropriate. So, and then we will add our unbeaten eggs, and there's 2 of those. So let me see. I'm trying to figure out why the lighting on my camera is looking off. It's because it's a sunny day, and it's not typically sunny on Halloween here, so we're lucky. And let me speed this up because this part gets pretty boring, and I'll show you what it looks like once it's light and fluffy. And in go the eggs. If you're mixing this by hand, go ahead and beat those before you add them. But since I'm using the mixer, I'm not going to. Okay, so this recipe calls for canned pumpkin. You could probably use fresh, but I'm just going to use canned. And it only calls for a ½ cup. So I'm hoping this has a strong pumpkin flavor because that's what I'm after. But I'm really excited to try this recipe. Anyway, so that goes in the mixer, and we're just going to mix it until it's incorporated. And then we'll start adding our dry and our sour milk. And this is just a friendly reminder to make sure you scrape everything down every now and then so that it all gets incorporated. And you're going to start adding your dry ingredients, alternating with the sour milk or buttermilk, whichever one you're using. And then you don't want to beat that too much. You just you could stir it in by hand, but I'm really lazy, so I'm going to use the mixer, but don't over mix it. Oops, and I almost forgot the vanilla extract. I'd never really measured this out. I just kind of pour some in, and I think it should be good. And there it goes. Okay, so here goes our flour mixture, and then I'm going to add, alternating with the sour milk. I just mixed a regular milk and lemon juice together because I didn't want to run to the store for buttermilk. And there we go. And again, like I said earlier, don't overmix this. Probably best to do this by hand, but you know, I'm lazy. So, and that just to give you a peek at what it looks like. It's a nice light orange color, perfect for Halloween, perfect for a fall baby shower. Okay, let's get the rest of this added. Okay, so I'm deviating from the recipe again because it says to put it into 2 8-inch cake pans, but I want this cake to be nice and tall, so I'm using 3 6-inch cake pans, and I'm just going to divide this up. The cake pans have been greased and floured, and they have little parchment rounds at the bottom. I'm going to bake this at 375 for I'm not sure how long. I'm going to start with 20 minutes, and I'm going to check on them, and I'm going to see how it turns out. And I'll let you know. I'm just smoothing out the tops, and I'm just kind of tapping them into the pans to make sure the batter's pretty well evenly distributed. And like I said earlier, the recipe does call for 375 degrees Fahrenheit for the oven temp, and but I'm going to start with 20 minutes, and I'm going to play it by ear and see how long they need to be in the oven for. When a toothpick inserted in the center comes out clean, then you know they're done. Just let them cool in the pans for a little bit, then pop them out on some wire racks. All right, let's get these in the oven. Thank God for dishwashers. This is why I don't make cakes very often. It's because the aftermath. Ugh. Anyways, let's get this cleaned up. All right, once these layers are completely cool, they baked for about 28 minutes. So just keep an eye on them if you do this. I'm going to cut each layer in half, wrap it really well in plastic wrap, put it in a Ziploc bag, and then stick it in the freezer. It's a lot easier to frost a cake when the layers are frozen, and it doesn't take away from the flavor as long as you don't freezer burner or keep it frozen for a long time. A couple days won't matter. Telly, if you wear this, I'll give you some catnip, or you're already helping yourself. Dang it, he won't wear it. And it's Halloween, too. Binks. Binks. You wanna... Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh. Alright, well... Crap. We're gonna be high as a kite. Okay, so my cake layers are cool, and I'm just gonna take a knife and slice them in half, and I'm gonna do that for all 3 layers. And I'm going to wrap up each layer in some plastic wrap so that way it stays fresh. And then I'm gonna put them in a Ziploc bag and stick them in the freezer. And so I will try to get the do the frosting video this Friday, and then I will get it the cake decorated and assembled, and then we'll do the taste test on Saturday when my sister's baby shower is, and then that's when we'll taste the cake and the frosting together, and we'll see how it turned out, and I'll get everybody's opinions. So just so you know, no taste test today, but it's coming by the end of this week. All right, I just wanted to wish you guys a happy Halloween, and I will see you guys the next few days.